Well, look, I think a normal time to come home could be Thanksgiving. And it's not uncommon that parents do go up and sometime in the first initial period for some kind of a parent weekend, which is kind of a mixed bag because kids that are having some adjustment issues, which again is not uncommon because it's as weird for them as it is for us as parents. So they might be kind of chomping at the bit to come home for a weekend or something. And just like it's not that great to come home from summer camp for a weekend for the same kinds of reasons, you really do need to settle in and manage your new challenges in that environment. And so this is something where um, saying, I know it's hard right now, but why don't we set our sights on you're going to come home at Thanksgiving? I kind of think that that's often, depending on when college starts, when the college actually starts for a given school, it's like a 2 to 3 month period where they have a chance to get into their routine and those sorts of things. And that then they have some real stories to tell you by the time they come home. And I do want to circle back for a moment, Dennis, to what we started with, which is let's remember you've had 18 years with this child
Hmm.
and you changed their diaper. You were up in the night. You sent them off to preschool. You went to their parent conferences. You went to the PTA meetings. You applauded for them at soccer practice and the recital and any number of other things. You lobbied for them with whoever about whatever issue. And we could go on and on, I'm sure,
Hmm.
between us.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
point is, you've been very much front and center in their lives. And now you're not. All of a sudden, you're not. So that can feel like an injury. And depending on what's happening in your life between you and between you and your partner, that can feel like a big or small injury. And if you have really rallied around your children and your children have been kind of the center of your life and you don't feel like you have enough of a life separate from your child, it can be quite devastating, in fact. And that is one of the reasons sometimes people seek therapy because they're saying, I was majoring in my kid, and now my kid went off to have their own major on their own without me.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
not in on their major anymore. And now I'm not in the line for pickup after school. I'm not, I'm not a back to school night for them. I'm here, doing my separate thing, and I'm a little lost. So
Yeah.
that's where the parent needs to be careful. And this is a really important part here, Dennis, not to bleed over onto their child with their own issues. That's a
Right.
critical point here
Yeah.
because what the issue is here, Dennis, is that if you don't know that you're actually sitting with a lot and that it's really actually challenging for you and that you feel a bit lost because one of your major roles in your whole life has just been taken from you, you could spill over onto your child and then interrupt what's a natural process for them, which is that they do need to separate from us. That is the natural order of things. And that in a way, parenting is a bit of a thankless job because they're supposed to leave us and we are supposed to be smiling and looking at them supportively as they do that. That's a lot to ask. We're all human.